Bitcoin's sell-off eased last 2 days, offering some respite to holders of the volatile cryptocurrency after a flash crash on Tuesday erased billions of dollars in its value. Tune in for the most important finance news today by MasterDigest. Bitcoin's sell-off eased last 2 days, offering some respite to holders of the volatile cryptocurrency after a flash crash a day earlier erased billions of dollars in its value. The largest cryptocurrency by market value fell 1.3% to settle at $46,154.44 apiece, according to ET data from CoinDesk. Bitcoin fell as much as 17% on Tuesday as El Salvador officially accepted the digital token as legal tender. The spike in volume and heightened market activity led to a flood of trade orders that ultimately caused service outages at popular crypto exchange platform Coinbase. Later traders began eyeing key technical levels in Bitcoin that could help assess the direction of trend for the cryptocurrency going forward. Bitcoin had confirmed a breakout above key $51,000 resistance on Monday with consecutive daily closes above that level, but Tuesday's plunge creates the potential for a failed breakout that could lead to more downside if key support levels weren't held. It was the biggest test in Bitcoin's 12-year history, but now the cryptocurrency has been steadied. Ukraine is the fifth country in as many weeks to lay down some ground rules for the cryptocurrency market, a sign that governments around the world are realizing that Bitcoin is here to stay. In a nearly unanimous vote, the Ukrainian parliament adopted a law that legalizes and regulates cryptocurrency. The bill was set in motion in 2020, and it now heads to the desk of President Volodymyr Zelensky. Until today, crypto in Ukraine has existed in a legal gray area. Locals were allowed to buy and exchange virtual currencies, but companies and exchanges dealing in crypto were often under close watch by law enforcement. According to the Kiev Post, authorities have trended toward taking a combative stance when it comes to virtual cash, regarding it as a scam, raiding crypto-related businesses, and often confiscating expensive equipment without any grounds. The new legislation also spells out certain protections against fraud for those who own Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and in a first for the Verkhovna Rada, lawmakers have taken a stab at defining core terminology in the world of crypto. If signed by the president, virtual assets, digital wallets, and private keys are terms that will be enshrined in Ukrainian law. Unlike El Salvador's move this week to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, Ukraine's crypto law does not facilitate the rollout of Bitcoin as a form of payment, nor does it put it on an equal footing with the hryvnia, the country's national currency. Cream Finance's hacker has returned most of the funds they stole last month. DeFi hacker returns loot. Cream Finance has received a payback after its recent hack incident. The unknown attacker has returned about 90% of the stolen funds to the project, security firm PeckShield first noted. On Wednesday, the multi-signature wallet Cream Finance controls received $5,152.6 ETH worth $17.6 million from the hacker's address. It remains unclear as to why the hacker decided to return the funds. Cream Finance is a lending protocol that takes inspiration from the popular Ethereum blue chip Compound. It lets users lend and borrow against a wider range of assets than Compound. Only today, it added support for a range of popular NFT tokens, including Axie Infinity, Yield Guild, and Rarible. On August 30th, a hacker attacked the AMP token market listed on the DeFi protocol. The attacker leveraged a retrancy bug that allowed multiple high-value flash loans, enabling the hacker to move funds out of the contract. In a post-mortem report, the Cream Finance team said the incident led to a loss of 2,804.96 ETH and 462,079,976 AMP tokens, valued at $34 million at the time. Soon after the attack, the hacker traded the stolen AMP tokens, leaving the wallet with 5,758 ETH. The remaining 606 ETH the hacker didn't return has been sent to another address, believed to be controlled by the hacker. Just a few hours ago, the address interacted with Tornado Cash, a popular mixer on Ethereum for preserving transaction privacy. At today's prices, 606 ETH is worth about $2 million. The Cream Finance incident shares some similarities to the recent Poly network hack that unfolded last month. The incident became the largest crypto heist ever after a hacker stole $611 million before returning the funds. The attacker said that they carried out the hack for fun and to expose a critical vulnerability. The major difference between the two instances is that Cream Finance's hacker has kept a portion of the loot. Coming up next, Apple is facing controversies, but investors don't care. Fed officials say tapering could still get started this year. Video games in China available on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and public holidays. Apple is facing a mountain of controversies, but investors don't seem to care, Yahoo Finance informs. Days away from the launch of its next iPhone, Apple is dealing with a host of headaches. This week Apple said it will host its annual fall event on September 14, where it's widely expected to launch the iPhone 13, a new Apple Watch, and AirPods. But the widely anticipated event comes just when Apple is navigating controversies that could hinder how it operates for years to come. Apple is seemingly immune to these controversies, though, as its stock price continues to ride to all-time highs. What's more, analysts expect the upcoming iPhone 13 to be a massive hit for the tech giant. Most pressing is Apple's legal battle with Fortnite maker Epic Games over its App Store fees and mandate that certain developers use Apple's proprietary payment system. A ruling in the case, expected in the coming weeks, could transform how Apple runs its digital store. It's not just Epic that's taking on the App Store, though. Apple is also reportedly facing probes by the Department of Justice and the European Union's European Commission. Outside of antitrust worries, Apple has faced pushback over its planned child protection software that will scan users' iCloud accounts for images of child sexual abuse material. The feature has raised concerns among privacy and free speech advocates who say totalitarian governments could use it to root out political enemies and protesters. Fed officials say tapering could still get started this year. Several Federal Reserve policymakers signaled this week that the U.S. central bank remains on track to trimming its massive asset purchases this year, despite the slowdown in jobs growth and the impact of the recent COVID-19 resurgence. The Fed has promised to keep purchasing Treasury securities and mortgage-backed securities at the current pace of $120 billion a month until there is substantial further progress toward their goals for inflation and maximum employment. Fed officials will meet again in 2 weeks on September 21 and 22. A report released by the Fed 2 days ago found the U.S. economy downshifted slightly in August as the resurgent pandemic hit dining, travel, and tourism. European stock futures slid on Thursday, tracking Asian shares lower on concerns of slowing global growth, while expectations were running high for the European Central Bank to announce a timeline to slow down bond purchases later in the day. Futures tracking Europe's top 50 firms were down 0.6% by Thursday morning. Among regional markets, UK's FTSE futures led the declines with 0.8% drop and German DAX futures lost 0.5%. The ECB is expected to slow its bond buying via its pandemic emergency purchase program, according to a Reuters poll, but also reassure markets that this is not the start of a gradual exit from easy policy. Asian shares dropped more than 1%, with Chinese gaming stocks coming under pressure from fresh regulatory scrutiny, while data showed China's factory gate inflation hit a 13-year high in August. British employers are facing the most severe shortage of job candidates on record due to the post-lockdown surge in the economy and Brexit, pushing up starting pay for permanent staff at an unprecedented pace, a recruiter's body said. British companies are finding it more difficult to fill jobs as they expand hiring following a loosening of lockdown rules, a friction that may weigh on the strength of the recovery. Lloyds Banking Group plc said its monthly survey of 1,200 businesses showed that almost a fifth report difficulties getting staff with the right skills. Their expectations for employment rose for a fifth month to the highest in 2.5 years. A separate report from the jobs site Edzuna showed 1 million job vacancies and 2.2 applicants for every position. The findings indicate that 16 months of coronavirus restrictions and Britain's exit from the European Union have inflicted long-term damage on the labor market. Companies hit hardest such as hospitality and trucking firms are struggling to bring back talent now that they're allowed to start working again. This has become a challenge to Prime Minister Boris Johnson's government, which is set to taper back its furlough support for wages started Thursday. China's video game laws risk being a turn-off for the next generation. The authorities call in industry leaders for ear-bashing over new gaming restrictions for kids. Online gaming in the country is now only available to people younger than 18 from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and public holidays. The decree is supported by an anti-addiction registry. The new video game controls are just one element in a broader range of government policies on youth behavior. Other aspects include crackdowns on effeminate, male images in pop culture, and on entertainers with incorrect political positions, according to reports in Western media. Video game developers are not the only companies affected by the top-down reset. The country's biggest tech giants are all being pressed to redirect their efforts towards greater, common prosperity. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and consider subscribing. Also, share this video with your friends if you feel so, and please, put your opinion down in the comments. If you want to know more about the finance, please, check the links below.